All right, let's start with number 12 here. So again, we have variables on, ooh, sorry about that. Got my marker turned off. We have variables on both sides of the equation. We need to get them both to either the left or the right. I generally like to move the smaller amounts or move them, because then you're not dealing with a negative. Because if I were to get rid of this 10y and get rid of this 10y, I would have a negative 8y. And that's just not, I mean, it's fine. You can do that. It's just some people get confused with negatives. So if you can avoid them, then avoid them. All right, so there's my line, right? I'm going to subtract 2y from here because I'm trying to get rid of it. Move it, I'm using air quotes, move it to the other side, because if I subtract 2y over here, I have to subtract 2y here. Again, notice that I lined it up underneath the 10y because they're like terms. You can't subtract 2y from 12. 12 doesn't have a y, so you can only subtract it from the 10y. All right, so that cancels these two y's out, because 2y minus 2y is 0. It leaves me with 12 on this side, equals 10y minus 2y is 8y, and then minus 12. So I need to add 12 over here to get it moved to the other side. Do the same here. Leaves me with 24 on the left and 8y on the right. Now the 8's being multiplied times the y, so I need to do the opposite, which is divide by 8 and divide by 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3, and that equals y. So 3 equals y. All right. Let's scoot this up here a little bit. All right, so this one, we're going to need to do some distributing first. So we distribute this negative 3 to both these in here. So negative 3 times x is a negative 3x, and negative 3 times a negative 8 is a positive 24. And all of that equals 6. All right, so now we're right back to where we were. We just had to add that extra distributive step in. So I want x by itself. There's my balance bar. So I subtract 24 because it's furthest from the x. So I subtract 24 here as well. That leaves me with a negative 3x on this side, because these are gone, equals 6 minus 24 is a negative 18. Now, to get rid of this negative 3, it's being multiplied times the x, so we do the opposite. Divide by 3, negative 3. We divide this by a negative 3. That becomes big O 1x equals negative 18 divided by negative 3 is a positive 6. Positive 6. All right, same thing over here. We're going to distribute on both sides, actually. We're going to distribute the 5 to the p, 5 to the 3. So that gives us 5p, and 5 times 3 is 15. That's really a bad 15. Let's try that again. Much better. Plus 9. Then this side, we need to distribute 3. So 3 times p is 3p. 3 times negative 2 is a negative 6, plus 6. Well, looky there, negative 6 plus 6, those are gone. It's a 0. Then we combine these two, right? So on this side, we have 5p plus 24 equals 3p. Now in this case, I would normally subtract 3p from both sides, but that would leave us with 0 on the right, right? So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 5p here, since the 24's already by itself, so to speak, on the left. There's no others, no just numbers on this side, right? So I'm going to subtract 5p. That leaves me with 24 over here and a negative 2p over here. So then I have to divide by a negative 2, and that leaves us with a negative 12 equals p. Okay, that's supposed to be a p. There we go. All right, that one's a little more in depth, so you may need to go back and rewatch that a few times, get the hang of it. Basically, all I've done is added the distributive property at the beginning. You combine the like terms and then solve it like normal.